Good day, friends. This is Homeschooling Channel. Standard 10th, Unit 8 in History, Nationalism Ganthian Phase, Part 3. This video talks about the struggle for Purna Swaraj and launch of civil disobedience movement. Purna Swaraj means complete independence. Friends, some congressmen were not satisfied with the dominion status, that is, the power to rule, and they wanted to demand complete independence. In the Congress session held in Lahore in December 1929, with Jawaharlal Nehru as the president, Purna Swaraj was declared as the goal. There, it was decided that to boycott the Round Table Conference. 26 January 1930 was declared as Independence Day and a pledge was taken all over the country to attain Purna Swaraj non-violently through disobedience, including non-payment of tax. So in 31st January 1930, a charter of demands was presented to the Viceroy Lord Irwin. It included reduction of expenditure on army and civil services by 50%, introduction of total prohibition of liquors and release of all political prisoners, reduction of land revenue by 50%, and abolition of salt tax. But the Viceroy did not respond to the Charter of Demands. So, Gandhiji launched the civil disobedience movement. On 12th March 1930, Gandhiji set out from Sabarmati Ashramam with 78 of its inmates. The procession became larger and larger when hundreds joined them along the march. At the age of 61, Gandhiji covered a distance of 241 miles in 24 days to reach Dandi. So on 6th April 1930, Gandhi marched to Dandi. He took a lump of salt, breaking the salt law. So friends, please look at the place Dandi in the India map, because the geographical location of a particular place is very important. In Tamil Nadu, Mr. Rajaji led a similar salt march from Tiruchirappalli to Vedaranyam. Salt marches took place in Kerala, Andhra and Bengal. In the northwest frontier province, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan led the movement Kudai Kitmatkar, which is also known as Red Shirts. So Gandhiji was arrested at midnight and sent to Erewada jail, which is situated in Maharashtra. Other leaders also arrested. Soon other forms of protesters such as boycott of foreign cloth, non-payment of taxes, breaking of forest laws, etc. were adopted. Friends, this is considered the biggest mass movement India had ever witnessed. But during the movement, the first round table conference was held at London in November 30th. So Mr. Ramsay MacDonald, the British Prime Minister, proposed a federal government with provincial autonomy. That is, a central government with state autonomy. As the Congress leaders were in jail, they were unable to attend this meeting. So the conference closed without any decision on the question. Lord Irwin held talks with Gandhiji, which resulted in Gandhi-Irwin Pact on 5th March 1931. The British agreed to the demand of immediate release of all political prisoners not involved in violence. It also permitted the people of coastal villages to make salt for consumption. So after that, the Congress agreed to suspend the civil disobedience movement and attend the conference. So Gandhiji attended the second roundtable conference, which began on 7th September 1931. but he refused to accept separate electorates for minorities. As a result, the second conference also ended without any result. Renewal of civil disobedience movement. On returning to India, Gandhi revived the civil disobedience movement. This time, the government was prepared to meet the resistance. Material law was enforced, and Gandhiji was arrested on 4th January 1932, and other leaders were also arrested. In the meantime, the third roundtable conference was held from 17th November to 24th December 1932. So Congress did not participate in the third meeting. Communal Award and Pune Pact. Communal award means communal award is nothing but grant separate electorate. Pact means agreement. So on 16th August 1932, Ramsay MacDonald announced the communal award. It provided separate electorates to the minorities, namely Muslims, Sikhs, Indian Christians, Anglo-Indians, and women, and the depressed classes. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the leader of the suppressed classes, strongly demanded the separate electorate. Gandhiji, who did not accept this, on 20th September 1932 went on a fast unto death against the separate electorates for the depressed classes. Madan Mohan Malaviya and Rajendra Prasad and others held talks with Mr. Ambedkar and M.C. Raja, the leaders of the depressed classes. After that, an agreement was arrived between Gandhiji and Ambedkar, which is known as Pune Pact. Its main terms were the principle of separate electorate was abandoned. Instead, the principle of joint electorate was accepted with the reservation of seats for the depressed classes, and reserved seats for the depressed classes were increased from 71 to 148. In the central legislature, 18% of the seats were reserved. Campaign against untouchability. So Gandhi devoted the next few years towards abolition of untouchability. His engagement with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar made a big impact on his ideas about the caste system. So he shifted his base to the Satyagraha Ashramam at Wardha. He undertook an all India tour, which is known as Harijan Tour. He started the Harijan Sevak Sangha to work for the removal of discriminations. The depressed class peoples are called as Harijans. He worked to promote education, cleanliness, and hygiene and giving up of liquor among the depressed classes. An important part of this campaign was Temple Entry Movement. 8th January 1933 was observed as Temple Entry Day. And friends, this is the question corner. Who led the Salt March in Tamil Nadu? Type your answers in the comment section. Stay tuned with Homeschooling channel. Thank you.